Okay, let's go over a very incredibly simple drawing technique that I see all the time for how to draw expressions. It's something that anyone can learn. It's kind of almost so dumb that it's simple. I don't know. I think that's probably why a lot of people don't teach it. And let's kind of hop into it, all right? One of the very first things I want to talk about really quickly would be this expression. We have a little expression right here. He's smiling, he's pulling up right here. A lot of people, generally, what they tend to do, okay, what they tend to do is really emphasize the idea that maybe it's like the musculature, and they start to think too deep into the process. You don't really want to think that way, okay? I think one of the easiest things that you can do, okay, let's go over here. Let's put them over here on this side. Let's go over here on this side. One of the things that you can do, actually, we'll go on this side right here. One of the things you can do is draw a literal smiley face, right? We're drawing like a literal smiley face to start out with. If you do that, you can kind of add on the other stuff, right? We're trying to add the nose here, right? Like it still looks like a smiley face. We're adding on the nostrils. We're pushing into the eyes a bit, right here. And we're filling this out in general. Let's just fill it in. Say similar, like he's got, you're seeing the, what do you call it? The concave section of the basically the eye socket, right there. Filling in the lip type. You got to learn lip type though. Filling in the lip type, right? Pulling down, opening the mouth a little bit right here. It's not, I mean, I'm not identically drawing that, but we're putting in that expression. That expression is slowly starting to form, right? This is, if you know, like the construction of the head. And you're kind of forming your construction around it. Right now he's looking like the Grinch. We're just extending, we're finding just any form right now. We're not thinking about what's happening. We're finding any kind of form of a smile there. Right now it looks like a devious smile because we put that concave area of the dark of the eyes right there, like a noir movie. Dark. Let's match that right here. Darkness under the nose. Pulling over here to the mouth. Right on. And we pretty much already, you can see it, right? You can see it slowly form this smile, right? And all I did was start with a generic happy face, which anyone can do, right? You can do that, anyone can do that. And that's kind of like the cool part about it is you can start with a completely generic, we're just going to put like top of the head, who cares? Put like an ear over here. You can start with a completely generic happy face, and you can form, like I said, if knowing the construction of the head, knowing the other parts of the head, knowing the stuff that we talk about in other videos, you can actually form something around that. So and also let me talk about this in a minute. When you're doing stuff like this is what will get you better. This is the kind of stuff where you can draw things from your mind's eye. That is where it kind of gets closer when you're doing little things like that, right? Starting with a simple. You're starting with a very simple thing, right? We started with probably the simplest thing, right? Something that anyone can draw, a smiley face. And remember the other video I talk about drawing with like a stick figure? We're starting with a stick figure with a lot of our poses for, for bodies. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. You're starting with something incredibly small, and you're building on, and you're building on, right? When you look at buildings, for example, when they're under construction, you just see a framework, right? A big square box, and that's what you're laying your stuff on. If you don't have this simplistic stuff, right? If you don't have the simplistic, easy, the basics foundation for any of the stuff that we're all talking about, the stuff that we're all doing, then it's going to be really hard to do that. It's going to be almost impossible if you just see how much easier that was. Obviously, what I'm doing is I'm putting construction over it, right? I'm not talking about the other construction I'm putting over it. There's other videos for that. I'm talking about one thing right now. I'm talking about a great way to get expression is starting from and like bouncing off a very simple smiley face. And that's going to be kind of what you want to do. And this is how I do all, this is literally how I start my smiles. Like, you know, if for all expressions, I'll go over the other expressions in other videos, but I hope this kind of makes sense, right? We're starting with the simplistic, right? We're starting with a smiley, right? We're starting with that, and then kind of going in the edges of the face. I don't know face anatomy very well, right? I know it well enough to draw it, but I don't really know. You don't really need to know face anatomy, right? We look at faces all day, every day, right? We look at them all the time. I'm getting like some kind of Curious George vibe because I drew it so small, right? You can do this, like this part. If you know how to draw a head, generally, very generally, right? You know a little bit. Let's say you know a little bit. Let's say you're brand new. You can do this, right? You can push off this and start making these smiles, and like again, you just start from that happy face, and then if you take what you know already about head construction, and if it's nothing, by the way, if you don't know anything about head construction, watch the other videos on this channel. I'm going to have a program very, very soon, Basics of Drawing, or I do have some stuff on Skillshare. Just go to the link in the bio. There's all that stuff you can check out. And it's fun to do that. It's so fun to kind of learn about the basics of that stuff. I don't know why people treat it so... people treat it like homework in school. But, you know, head construction, head anatomy, that's just fun. It really is. I think that stuff is really exciting. It's fun. It's interesting. And... you know, there's a lot that you can get done with it. Obviously, you can take it as a tool. See how tiny and weird that little head's looking. But hopefully that made my point. I want to thank you very much for watching. Go ahead and follow if you can. Like I said, if or otherwise you'll never see me again. And I appreciate it. I appreciate all the love. If you have any questions, answer in the comments. If you have a question about drawing in general, I'll make a video on it. Just put it in the comment section so that I know what's going on. Okay. Anyways, thanks so much. The last thing I'm going to say here is get arty. Okay, I want you to draw every day. Get artistic, all right? Get drawing every single day. Draw every day, okay? Draw every day. Draw every day. Draw every day, okay? I'm going to implore you to do that. Draw every day because it will help. No matter what you're doing. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Just draw it. Get in the habit, okay? See you soon, all right?